gone on and on and on and on about something to your friend who, wa- who wasn't quite listening and just nodded along. Well, she was listening to me every single time. And every time I would rant about something, she would look at me like this and say, "And what's your point?" We were 13 at the time, and I don't know where she got this from, but I thought it was pretty cool. Fellow Toastmasters, today I want to share with you a story that is very close to my heart. A story right out of the book of my life. This is a story about undying, unromantic friendship that's filled with love. Our friendship started in grade 8. She was the smartest one in the class and happened to be sitting next to me when the teacher shuffled us around. She would stay up until 4 a.m. Yes, 4 a.m. to get her work just perfect. Meanwhile, I would give up at about 12. Not so bad. But my work looked quarter as good as hers did. I remember one particular incident when I so proudly took out my homework because I worked so hard on it and I wanted to show her. But 2 seconds before that, she took out hers that looked so much better, and I quickly put mine back in my bag. We used to walk home from school together, and even though I lived at a distance of 5 minutes and her for 15, I used to follow her all the way home, drop her off, and then walk back home, taking me a total of half an hour to get home. With our friendship, and like any other friendship, we had our ups and downs. There's times when we spoke for several hours in a single day, and there were times when we didn't speak for months. And I remember one particular time, right out of getting out of school, I had fallen flat on the ice in muddy waters, and she looked down at me because she was much taller than I was. And at that point, she seemed even taller and started laughing at me. And then she helped me up. But with any emotional fall I have had over the years, she never once took even a moment to help me up. It was the year 2010, and it had been months since I last spoke to her. I was on a roller coaster of emotions, like any of us are when we're first walking into adulthood. I started to cry, and I knew she was the person I needed to call. Within seconds, she calmed me down. I guess it was the connection we had. But like any relationship, there comes a time to see if people will stick with you through the good and the bad. And that's where you make your real friends. Little did I know that for the next 3 years to come, my friend and I would talk every single day. She just knew when my heart would hurt, and she knew exactly what to say to put it to rest. With whatever she had been through in her own life, she was able to look at things from a different angle, from a different perspective, putting together things you would never even think of to teach you a lesson from it. And right now, I can hear her say, "And what's your point?" So today I want to share with you 3 very valuable lessons I've learned from her. The first, commitment, being a woman of your word. Second, patience is the most beautiful thing you can have. And third, always have a point to your story. The first one, commitment. There are those who talk and continue to talk, and there are those who do. These are the kind of people that make sure they get things done. And I was more of a talker, and she was more of a doer. And with learning these hard life lessons, this was the first thing she taught me. She said, "Shamsha, I don't drink water for 30 minutes after I eat because it's good for you. But do you know why I do that?" I don't know. It's not because I don't feel thirsty, but it's to create discipline. It's to know that I'm going to stick to my word. If I said I'm not going to drink water for 30 minutes, no matter how spicy the food gets, I'm not going to drink the water. So let's start with baby steps. Let's make sure that you don't drink water for 30 minutes after you eat food. And we all know that Indian food can get spicy sometimes. So I took on this challenge. And she said to me, if you're going to give up, which I know you are, don't give up in the first 5 minutes, okay? Just hold on. If you want to give up so badly, give up in the 25th minute. So wait. And then slowly build it to 26, and then 27, and then 28, and you'll get there. From this I learned that commitment is a practice. It's a religion that one must have for themselves, to stick to your word. And when you stick to your word, whatever you say begins to have weight, and you begin to trust yourself. The second lesson, patience is the most beautiful thing you can have. To build anything, Shamsha, you need to have patience. You need to know that things take time. You need to know that patience will bring you whatever you work, the fruit of the work you've put in. How do you build patience? Well, you learn to give your best to anything you have. And then you do your best. And then you wait. You wait for time to do its magic on the work you've done, and you'll bear fruit. From this I learned, nothing is built in a day. For everything worth having in this world, you need time. Whether it's building a skill, your career, or even your character, it takes time. The third, always have a point to your story. Several times our conversations went like this. So, and what's your point? I don't really have a point. From this I learned that in everything we do, we must know why we're doing it. We must have a reason for doing what we're doing. And with this exercise, have a little bit of insight or foresight into the future to see whatever steps you're taking today, what consequences are they going to bring tomorrow, so that each action you take is filled with awareness and goodwill. My friend and I have been friends since grade 8. And at the end of the grade 8 year, she wrote the following in my yearbook. Call me almost every day in the summer, and next year I'll help you get even higher marks than mine. Through thick and thin, she stuck with me. With time, our friendship became stronger and stronger. Because of her, I learned what it means to be a true friend. One who sticks by your side and doesn't leave when times get tough. One who will show you the right way instead of the easy way. One who puts her own pain aside to nurse yours. And one who knows exactly what to do to save your heart from hurting. Because what is real friendship other than unconditional love? Thank you.